Player stats are a great way of setting up values for the player, such as keys, gems, money, health, stuff like that you don't necessarily want to have tied to a game object or tied to an inventory with items. So as you can see on the top left corner, I have a stat for keys and gems. If I click on this button right here, that's going to give me some gems. And if I pick up these keys, it will give me some key stat. Now this door over here, I've set up so it requires 1 key in order to open it. So if I pick up some keys here, I have 5. And if I interact with the door, it's going to take one of those and unlock it. So yeah, stats, they can be great for puzzle games. Maybe you want to keep track of how many keys the player has to open doors, keep track of how many coins they've picked up around the place, stuff like that. So let's look at how to set this up. First of all, you want to create a stat. So I already have some stats created. If we go to implementation, data, stats, you can see right here we have keys and gems. And on each stat, you can define an icon, a value or a start value, and then a minimum and a maximum value. To create a stat, you just right click, go create, exploration toolkit, player stat, and you can then define it right here. Now, in order to have stats work inside of your scene, you are going to need the player stat manager system, which is located in the core prefabs systems management folder. Simply drag that in. This has a canvas as a child, which renders out all the individual stats. So if we go to that canvas here, you'll see we have these individual player stat UI elements, which we can copy and paste. And pretty much you just want to give it a stat, and it is going to then render that stat whenever the value has changed. Now, with stats, how do we actually use them? Well, over here on the door, for example, if we go and select the door, you can go look up more about doors on the documentation or with the doors video, but essentially down at the bottom here, we have it locked at the start and we have it openable with a key. And this key has been set to stat. We've given the stat that the player requires, the amount that is required, and the amount that is consumed when it opens. Now, how about giving stats to the player? Well, if we select the button right here, we have a component attached called a player stat trigger. And this right here, we just define a stat. And then down here, when the button is pressed, we are calling the increased value sending over 1. So we're increasing the value of gems by 1. Same thing for the keys over here. That is also occurring on that as well, as you can see in the onInteract event. So yeah, player stats can be very useful for things such as unlocking doors, or you can even connect to them in your own scripts.